Shabbat Shalom if you are still in a time zone that has daylight. First of all, let's just talk about allergens and pollen again, because listen, I have taken Claritin. I even took Sudafed, the pseudoephedrine, and I got the eye drops. I'm using both types of eye drops. And look, do you see that little raised, kind of like a bump right there? Like, I feel like my eyes, I look like an old maid every day that I've been here. I'll be standing out and talking to people in public, trying to just make nice and socialize. And I look like I'm crying. I look like I'm in literal tears because this pollen is trying to take me out. But I said, listen, we're going to get on these videos looking like we looking. It is what a TI is, okay? I have a list. We're going to stay very organized here so I can, well, as organized as you can be with a random video like this. This is like my little random Hawaii update. Do you remember that movie Baby's Day Out? That's what this feels like. I've been thinking that the last couple of days. It's Erin's day out. All the cool, neat things I'm learning and discovering about Hawaii, because that was the point of this trip, and just see what it would really be like to relocate. Speaking of which, African snails. I was talking to the owner of this Airbnb and mentioned I've never seen snails this huge in my life. It depends on where you live, because all I know is Ohio-sized snails. An Ohio-sized snail would be like maybe as big as the size of a traditional bottled water cap. The ones I'm seeing are like this big, comparatively speaking. They're actually cute. But he said they're African snails. They don't know how they got here. Side note, before you come to Hawaii, they make you complete a form stating that you're not bringing in any unwelcome organisms. That's how they keep their ecosystem so lovely. But yeah, they're huge compared to the ones back home. Also, slugs. I thought that the slugs, because I was seeing them in the walkway on the way out to the front yard. So I thought that the slug came out of the big shell. And then he explained that they're actually two separate creatures. They look meatier than regular worms. It's everything here is plush and juicy, and apparently so are the slugs and the snails, child. Everything just can flourish in all this humidity and moisture, except for me. Honey, listen, I'll be walking around looking like I'm crying. I drove with the windows down yesterday like a complete fool. Didn't care, could care less. It was too nice outside. I did not leave Ohio and come to Hawaii to not enjoy the weather, the steam, and the cool wind and the humidity. So I guess my eyeballs just gonna have to leak, honey, because I'm about to get it in. Oh my goodness. My nervous system has, in the last few days, just kind of set in to vacation mode finally. Like, I'm talking, I felt so like safe and settled in my body yesterday that first I did do a lot of reflection and teachings, and they're just stockpiling because I just went into real life relaxation and reflection and vacation mode, and just my nervous system really settled into the surroundings and settled into myself. You know what I'm saying? Also, I think that it's like a second level of settling and relaxation and safety. If I can try to put it into words, it's like I settled into myself from the first vacation I went on when I first graduated. I planned it very last minute. I just scheduled it within a couple of days. I had been wanting to do something, and I had been trying to figure out, what are you going to do to celebrate graduating? And after going through that very traumatic, very rapid, like very accelerated appeals process, and then threatening to not let me graduate, threatening to kick me out of school, and it literally, even though it was a different system and a different institution, it was the exact same experience as what I experienced in family court. And it was just so triggering to my nervous system that I literally felt like I needed to just kind of run away. Like, I gotta get away. I gotta get away. Anybody from my generation will know the song I just referenced. So I booked a trip and went to Myrtle Beach finally for the first time. That was a dream trip that I had always wanted to take my kids on when we were married. And I finally was able to do it myself. So I just went. And I settled in there, but I wasn't settled because I was still honestly arguing most of the time with the Most High. Like, this is some bull. You got me. I thought I was done with this job. I don't want to do this. I be sometimes arguing with the Most High. I don't know about you. But listen, if he's supposed to be the homie, we going to keep it all the way real. He already know anyway. I might as well go on ahead and tell him. He said, confess your faults one to another. And that's what I be doing. I be like, look here, this is some bull. I don't want to do this. I don't want to say that. Why me? Why I got to do it? Why you can't get why? Where is everybody else? Shoot. So there was a little bit of that going on in between me opening my patio and enjoying the ocean and going out on the beach and whatever. So here we are doing it again and doing it better and doing it to death. Like, doing it to life. That's a little ode to James Brown. Anyway, we're staying on track. What I'm saying is I finally feel like I'm wrestling and finally finding that balance between having to operate in the office of a prophet and live a soft life. Trying to find the balance. Sometimes you got to go out there and be a warrior, and then you get to just exhale and sit down and go to the beach and enjoy and relax and, be human. Just be human. I'm finding the balance. All praise to the Most High Yah for that. Speaking of relaxation, child, the bathroom is the main reason that I chose this Airbnb. The main reason that, what do you call that? That, what kind of tub is it? A jacuzzi tub. Oh, and before I even really focused on the jacuzzi tub, what really got me was the shower. It has a detachable shower head. I literally, after going to the last Airbnb at Myrtle Beach, I knew I needed to make sure I picked the Airbnb for every other vacation that has a detachable shower head. I don't move into a place without fixing that when I move in. Everywhere I go, before I even worry about hanging curtains, I go buy a detachable shower head to install in the shower. Lickety split. It's a 1, 2, 3. It is a necessity. It is not a luxury. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is my spot right here. But then the jacuzzi tub, child, listen. But if you want to bless me with one of those in the relocation spot, I will not complain, okay? The mountains and the steam. It's fascinating how it literally looks like the clouds are touching. They look like best friends. They're like right touching each other. I thought maybe it was my vantage point from down here as a little earthling. But I talked to some residents. I've just pulled over and started making conversation again, making small talk. And she said, no, they really are touching. And depending on where you are on the island, like if you're in Waimea, if you just leave your doors and windows open long enough, clouds will float into your house. Have we reached heaven on earth, I say? What is this? She said, be careful though, because a cow might walk in with the clouds too. And we busted out laughing because she's like, we got a country around here, which is hilarious. I just love it because it does have this like country Eden paradise, yet also there's city and suburbia. It's all the things. It's wonderful. The water alone, it's breathtaking. Speaking of being country, roosters are everywhere, bro. I mean, everywhere. I went to the Target when I was scoping out a neighborhood, and I pulled up in that Target, and they were roosters just cock-a-doodling in the parking lot. And I'm just like, roosters are like Cincinnati pigeons or, your average neighborhood bird around here. There are also birds, but there are roosters just kicking it like pigeons. It's the strangest yet coolest thing. I'm still getting used to that. Oh, and again, especially being right here by the bay, but apparently this is an island issue. When I got my car from the airport, it was perfectly clean. When I parked it in front of my Airbnb and then came out the next morning, there were ants right there. When I opened the doorway, there were ants in the car crawling across the dashboard. Not like, don't imagine like a whole smattering of ants. It's like 2 or 3 ants. And apparently this is also common. It's just ants. Okay. Notice I'm not freaked out by any creature I've mentioned. These are the kind of creatures I can live with. Garden snakes or any such manner of snake. No. But so far, all the creatures here are benign. I like that. Oh, I did learn though. When I went to the Kaimana Beach, I got to go back because apparently it is monk seal season. But apparently there's rules for real. Like, not that I would ever get close enough to an animal to threaten one. I just like to admire from afar. But I guess, people be stupid. It's people be peopling. And so they done had to put rules out and they be advertising, don't get too close to them. Because apparently these jokers will attack you over their babies. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I'm not saying I want to be the victim, but I would love to see a fool try. And apparently people are stupid enough to try going up in certain mountains because it's really open out here. You really can there's bike paths and walking paths. You could just go climb a mountain if you wanted to. And we all can imagine who would try it. The lady tried to warn me. I said, girl, we don't do that. You will never catch one of us on the news in such a story about dying trying to climb a mountain. Not gonna happen. And apparently the brown folks know better too. The black and the brown folks know better. That's all I'm gonna say. But the mountains are gorgeous. Now I'll go on some guided thing, but I don't know. That'll probably be a year from now. Child, please. I'm not ready for all that I'm not that adventurous. Right now I'm just photographing and we can drive around the bottom of the mountain. I'm not driving up no mountains. I'm not climbing up no mountains. You will be sending an airplane to get me back down. Absolutely not. They are gorgeous from afar though, which reminds me, I shared a video of just a touch of the mountains. I want to describe it to you. Have you ever seen people in their yards who sculpt their shrubbery and stuff? And it's this tall, glorious trees all together that they look sculpted. That's how these mountains look. They are covered in gorgeous, plush greenery, deciduous leaves, and plush, fluffy greenery. They're so covered, and the mountain ridges are covered. And so when you see the mountains, they look like they're going in and out like waves of leaves, cascading and towering up to the sky, into the clouds. It's breathtaking. Breathtaking. Oh, the rain here. It's just never, I don't know, torrential, ugly. It probably could be if they had like a hurricane or something like that. I need to study that so I can be prepared, I guess. Rain spurts, that's all. And then it's gone. It should just be sun is shining and you minding your business, about to plan to go out for the day, and then just a little trickle of rain, and then it's over and it's sunny again. It's kind of cool. Eyeballs just leaking all the time, everywhere. I've met a couple of people. They sound like they go to an allergist around here somewhere. I wonder if I'm gonna have to do that. I saved the best for last. The first Target I visited that's right here near the Airbnb. He told me when I went in there, he said, I hope it's not offensive to you, but just be prepared. A lot of people will probably call you auntie. And I was just like, really? I think that's really sweet. First of all, I am an auntie, and I'm definitely in my auntie era with all these caftans, honey, and the soft life. Just, we living in the auntie era. Absolutely. And, so yesterday I went to a different Target, and you know, the greeters and the people that are giving directions, telling people go to this line, go to that line, get, you know, pointing you to get in whatever line. He was talking to somebody and I was coming out trying to figure out where to go next. And he looked at me. He was like, hi, auntie, you can go right this way, auntie. And then the lady in the line was saying it too. She was like, right this way, auntie. Here's the thing, auntie. Here's a register, auntie. And I was just like, the first time he said it, I was like, did you just call me auntie? And he was like, yes. And I'm like, ah, that's just so cute. I just thought that was so sweet. It just made me feel welcome and at home. And it also felt culturally appropriate. You know, I'm among a lot of brown people who are indigenous, and it's just an interesting experience to see the things we have in common. They're nuanced throughout all of our BIPOC cultures, but they're kin, like cousins, you feel me? And it was just so sweet to be called auntie in the middle of Target instead of just ma'am. Ma'am, I don't know. It just doesn't hit the same. I just be like, does that mean I look old? What does that mean? But auntie is like a little more endearing, you feel me? And it was just so sweet. So those are really all my updates. I'm just enjoying myself and finally settling into the vacation mindset and planning more trips to different beaches. And I go for a tour on Monday at the university. I'm just excited and grateful. All praise to the Most High Yah. Y'all have a great evening.